Becky is a 2020 thriller film starring Kevin James, Joel McHale, Robert Millett, and Lulu Wilson. And it was directed by, I'm going to butcher their names, Jonathan Millott and either Carrie or Corey Mornin or something. I don't know. I'm sorry if I butchered their names. And those are the guys who brought us Cooties in 2014 with Elijah Wood, which I saw, thought the film was okay. Could have been better. It's batshit crazy, I'll tell you that. And Bushwick, which I haven't seen, from 2017, with starring Dave Bautista and Brittany Snow. And in Becky, we follow a young rebellious girl named Becky and her father, who tried to reconnect with one another at their family lake house a year after her mom's passing to try to reconcile and get close. And but then this trip takes a turn for the worst when a group of neo-Nazi white supremacists show up at their front door, led by Kevin James' character named Dominique. And they're looking for a key of some sort, and he needs it, and Becky's in possession. The film becomes pretty much a cat and mouse, Home Alone survival type scenario going on. And so a little backstory in the film. I think this came out a couple weeks ago. One of my, I ended up seeing this on Facebook, and there was a lot of hype going behind Kevin James' character playing a villain. For one, we've never seen him do that before, and he does need a fucking new genre, in my opinion. And he's playing a white supremacist, so it's like, okay, that's kind of a cool thing. We got the Cell Block 99 thing going on here, like with Vince Vaughn. So upon reading on it and seeing the trailers, while the trailers did look low budget, I was still intrigued because Kevin James is playing a villain. I'm not a big fan of the character or that actor. Don't like him. I didn't like any of the mall cops. Honestly, he's my least liked guy in the Growing Ups out of the group, both 1 and 2. And really, I wasn't a big fan of King and Queens. I just never, I watched a couple episodes. I just wasn't a big fan of it. And so when I saw this film coming out, I was like, and I hear a lot of people was going around saying it was really, really good. And, well, I will say that upon seeing the film, it's okay. It could have been a lot better. It's far-fetched saying this movie was that good. Now, I will say Kevin James, get into my pros. Kevin James is the highlight of the movie. He did good for what he was given. He could have been a lot more brutal. He could have been more hard. But what he was in the film, he was fucking a mean son of a bitch. And there's some scenes that happen. A lot of shit surprisingly happens off screen. Like there's this, let's just say that he has no limits. He'll kill fucking kids in gruesome fucking ways. And that comes to play later in the film or mid-film. But other than that, yeah, he was something else. Now, was his performance like Oscar? No. This film is really low budget, previous to the film that me and Justin watched earlier called BFW. It's kind of on that kind of level. It's not Grindhouse or anything. It's just really that kind of budget. And it's pretty much the guys who did Cooties. If you take the visual effects from that, see how that was structured, it's basically kind of like that type of level. So it's really independently done. So it was a good performance. Lulu Wilson, the girl who goes against him and pretty much plays the Kevin McAllister of the film, where she sees them taking her family hostage. Family, I mean by there's a subplot going on where her dad and her are supposed to be at the lake house, but then her dad surprised her with his new girlfriend who he's about to marry, and she brings along her 5-year-old son. And we saw a movie called The Lodge that was kind of on that similar format where, you get the rebellious girl or the kids who don't want to see their dad remarry because mom died a year ago, trying to move on. So there's kind of like that going on, and they're held captive with the father, who is played by Joe McHale. And pretty much they're holding her, and she's got to find a way out to survive. And I'll tell you, she does some fucking brutal shit in this film. when she gets a hold of these motherfuckers, holy hell. And while I do feel like a lot of it's over the top, I still kind of, I mean, it doesn't bother me too bad because the movie's meant to be over the top. But at the sense, I thought some of it can take you a little bit out of the mood because, man, is she go fucking ape shit crazy, which goes in my other pro in this film. I was actually surprised at how gory this movie is. Holy shit. There's a part where like the girl stabs this fucking ruler in this dude's throat and just tears out his, I mean, she's just jumping on it and just it just tears his windpipe to fucking hell. And there's this part where I'm not gonna say who, but we're with an eyeball and it's hanging out and the guy's gotta cut his optic nerve and you're sitting there seeing him trying with scissors and all that shit, which there's a little joke with that, which kind of took me out of the movie because it's a thriller movie. It's not supposed to mean comedy. And the comedy part is the dude grabs a fucking kindergarten scissors and it won't cut. And the Kevin James needed that little funny moment just to just say, "This little kid's scissors, you dumbass." You know, just it just didn't feel like that should have been part of in the movie. But anyways, the gore was really good. And like this other guy gets fucking like propelled to death. I mean, I'm not going to go through every one of them. You should see it yourself. It's pretty gruesome. So the performances by the other people, I'll get into my cons here in a minute. But the wood setting was kind of nice. The secludedness plays a lot of good role. You know, sense of can't run to nobody. Now I can't really think. There ain't much to really talk about in this film, so I'm gonna get into my cons. So let me start off with one thing I did not like. Kevin James, while he's good, but his fucking people he brings with him are some of the dumbass fucking villains I've seen in a movie in a while. And this really took the mood out for me because we got these guys who have fucking guns and they're going in circles. You got one guy who has captured the girl, Becky, a few times, but then his instincts, he's like, I don't want to hurt a kid, so he lets her go, but then he does something to her later that kind of contradicts that. And then you got these other guys just making fucking retarded decisions after retarded decisions. And it's just like, really, you could have just killed a person right there. Like one of the villains literally has a gun. He could have shot her and took the key, and the movie credits would have rolled. That shit like that was playing a problem in this film that bothered me to hell. In fact, it got to the point I was like, can I just see Kevin James only in this movie playing the villain because he was better than the other ones. Just his partners were fucking stupid. And it comes to another thing where Kevin James brings up this point where he's been planning this for 19 years. It's like, okay, you're planning this for 19 years, and you're supposed to be like this fucking white supremacist Nazi lord, and you're supposed to be like on this like intelligent level and shit, but yet, man, you playing this for 19 years and you're letting a fucking junior high school girl kick the fucking shit out of you and your men? Like, you did not plan this out, obviously. So I'm wondering, at times, does it come a prodigy of its own, like making fun of itself? And it's not supposed to be that way because, judging by the genre it's in, it's not meant to be funny in any way like that. So there's stuff that's happening in the film kind of made me question a little bit. But anyways, another thing that bothered me was the attack-in girlfriend and the kid storyline where the husband needed a new girlfriend just to add more. I would have understood that if you're trying to build a body count, but they really play no purpose in this at all. And there's this part where the girlfriend actually takes like a bullet to the knee, and she's really inconsistent about her pain because there are parts where she's like, I'm bleeding, and she really does not have a reaction until some scenes she does. When like, especially when you hear him pressing on it, then she starts showing it. It's like very inconsistent. The boy really doesn't play no part in this fucking movie other than have that little kid seeing all this going on type of scenario. Then there's the key thing, which I don't understand because there's some kind of thing Kevin James pretty much explains to the girl why he needs a key, and it was something to I don't know. I don't want to spoil that part. I want to leave that up to debate for you guys to see if you want to see the movie. But it just really came off as like it made no fucking sense. Like, are you trying to say this movie opens some kind of like lore, some like some kind of realm or something? Because there are scenes where Becky holds this key and they play this weird fucking score in the background, like it was gonna fucking like it's gonna go like color out of space type of level. But you hear the score playing, you think something beyond what we're seeing is going to come out, and it really just. I mean, it's supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to be about a girl fighting off white supremacists that are trying to kill her family. So there's things in this film that was not making sense at all for me. But other than that, I will say that what keeps you watching the movie is don't take it too seriously. Just watch a child beat the fuck out of people in gruesome fucking ways. That's basically what kept me in the movie. And Kevin James being a white supremacist villain and a bad guy for once. Those things kept me in the film to kind of say that it's a watchable movie. And one more problem I had with this movie was this girl could take some fucking heat from some big old fucking dudes. The actor played by Robert Millet, I've seen him in movies before. Anyways, I think the dude stands 6'6" to 7 foot tall, and this girl is really taking punches from this guy, like through on the chest. We're looking at I think 15, 16-year-old girl taking full on punches from big old dudes, buff guys, taking boards to the fucking mouth and in our typical pain, but getting up and kicking ass, and it's a child, so it's like seeing Chloe Moretz in Kick Ass without the cussing, and not a superhero thing, but a girl who's just had it after just her life is miserable, so she used that to revenge to just want revenge. So yeah, other than that, film's okay. It's not bad. Definitely isn't like fantastic what I've heard from other people, but that's everybody. That's your own opinion. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna be nice here. I'm gonna give this film a low average Joe on the film freaks meter. So that would be my review for the day, and I'll see you in the next review. Later.